Welcome to Post Game Podcast. I'm your host, Joe, and I got my boy B Foster, and we're going to continue with the off-season vibes and talk about our featured player of the week. It is an NBA, a 2024 NBA prospect. And the reason why we're talking about prospects is draft season. You know what I'm saying? So the Pistons have been had their draft order fate given to them on Sunday with the number 5 pick for the 3rd year in a row. So I keep saying that, but that's what it is. We're in number 5. And Foster's gonna talk about this next prospect. He's very anybody that's paid attention to any kind of college basketball know who this guy is, but Foster's going to go in depth and tell you a little bit more, maybe some stuff you didn't know. So Foster, go ahead and do your thing, bro.
All right, we're going to be talking about Donovan Clingan out of UConn, who has comps to Walker Kessler and Jakob Poeltl, and he projects to be a defensive anchor and rim runner at the next level. He is your traditional throwback big, and he projects to be one of the first true bigs to go off the board in the draft. He's 7'2", 260 pounds. He's a center, and he's 21 years old. He is a 2-time NCAA champ. They went back-to-back this year, and he had 12.7 rebounds and 2.7 stocks, which is a combination of steals and blocks.
Okay.
Like I said, yes, that is a nuanced stat that they have out here.
Okay.
He, like I said, he's a traditional big, and as of this point, does not stretch the floor at all. As far as his strengths, he is a high-level shot blocker, a good rebounder, and a good finisher, whether it's on pickbacks or rolling to the rim at the dunker spot. He's a lob threat, and he's improved his ability to run the floor in transition. Tough to run the floor at 7'2", 260, but he's working on it. As far as his weaknesses, he needs to assert his dominance more at the rim, and needs to attack at the rim harder. He only had 36 blocks. 36 dunks. He's more of he utilizes his soft touch more at the rim, more so than, attacking the rim and, dunking on his opponents. And he needs to take on contact better. He's got a, large frame. He's 7'2", 260 pounds. So he needs to, take on that contact a little bit tougher at the rim. He may have issues at the next level switching on to smaller guards and pick and roll situations on the perimeter. And there is little hope of if he'll ever develop a 3-point shot at the next level. He's a poor free throw shooter at this point in his career, and that tends to correlate. If you can shoot free throws at a decent clip, there's a chance that you could develop an outside shot, and that is not where he's at right now. As far as his fit with Detroit, outside of the fact that he'll probably go earlier than that 5 spot, as much as we would love a defensive anchor and somebody that can protect the rim, him alongside Jalen Duren does not make much sense unless some miraculous transformation that Duren goes under and he starts shooting better from the outside. But yeah, only in a world where Jalen Duren comes off the bench or gets moved. That's the only scenario where Donovan Clingan makes sense at that 5 spot. But good prospect. I think he's a kind of a solid plug and play player. immediately for somebody that needs a defensive anchor that's not worried about him stretching the floor, because that doesn't look to be within his projection at this point.
Oh boy. I'll just say this guy's a winner. I'll say
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that. Two college championships underneath his belt. Freshman of the year last year. Um, you know, with that size, he could very well go in someone's franchise and start as center. With the only thing that I don't like is if you draft him as a Piston, you would probably be forced to make a choice between whether Duran's your starter or this guy, and I'd rather just have Duran. If you're going to go with Duran, you don't pick this guy. Unless, you've practically given up on Duran as being a starter. Because at this point, you're not drafting anybody that's gonna come off your bench at 14 and 68. Just not. So other than that, I think he's a good prospect. I just don't think the Pistons will go in that direction. I do think he'll make somebody's franchise a little bit better than what they are. Long as he shouldn't have to come in this early and lead a team, being, with with his skill set. Not re- and if he was dominant in college, that'd be one thing, but he's not there yet. No shooting touch from the outside, sounds like. So it gets a little rougher in the NBA when you don't have a shooting outside shot. You don't have an outside shot in the NBA, you're done, and it doesn't matter what position it is nowadays. You got to have some kind of shot. So, without further ado, please subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. Subscribe to Motor City Metrics. Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube is where you'll find this player profile along with others. For your audio feed, go to any podcast streaming platform. That's Apple Podcast, Spotify, stuff like that. Follow us. Just type in Post Game Podcast, FFSN. Follow us, download the episodes, and you'll hear more content from us on a regular. Thank you once again, Foster. You've done a great job. These are some great prospects. There's other prospects on the channel, so check us out.